Hello, in this presentation, I want to show you how to create a professional customer complaints record to keep the evidence up to date. I will use an star.xlsb file in order to allow running macros and also to keep the file dimension as small possible when it's filled with thousands of records per year. There are two sheets, first with records and second one with supplier's name and info about them. You can see the evidence of complaints for each supplier also in a chart. In order to have same format for all cell containing date, I will use same data validation for all of them. From Data tab, select Data Validation, as you can see, and fill according to presentation, then copy the cell and paste it to all others. Next, I will show the formulas working with date. Month formula will return only this value from reference cell. Next formula will obtain the quarter from previous cell. To add Q before quarter number, I change the cell format as shown. This formula will calculate the number of days between cell in column E and B. In F7 cell appears error because the date in cell E7 is before date in B7. If the response time is over 1 day, the cell fill color changes to red due to conditional format applied, same for error. If cell value in column E is empty, the formula calculates the difference till today and apply conditional format as shown. Next cells will be filled with data as needed in order to describe the complaint. Decision field is also a data validation from a list this time. The list source is defined as you can see. The supplier field is also a data validation, but this time, more complex, in order to assure the right supplier name is filled in, without any kind of name variation, e.g. spaces, dots, missing letters, etc. Also it allows to search for strings, and on filter click, will return all the variants containing them. Conditional formatting can be applied by a rule to format only cells that contain specified value, as shown. In the same way, is define the format regarding to cells with date format, as you can see. If this formula is relatively simple to understand, the next one uses network days to count only working days without Saturday and Sunday, and taking into consideration holidays, defined in a named range. So here, you can add or modify the holidays and free days for current year as needed. Now, the formula will calculate the days between registration issue date and response time, removing the weekends and defined holidays. Next, there are some cells, below the last filled row, containing formulas, regarding to a specific range, as you can see. These cells containing formulas are needed to keep, in the summary table, the general evidence, and also show in the chart this evidence. So these cells should be updated when a new record is added, in order to keep the summary accurate. In the suppliers sheet, there is a complete list of them, also their allocated code, and the evidence of complaints per supplier, also available in a chart. Here are the formulas that will bring in the filtered list, the supplier's name, containing the searched string. In this field, for each supplier, will be added information from previous sheet, with COUNTIP formula, regarding to number of issues per supplier. I will show you how the search for supplier name works. Data validation source is pointing to a named range supplier. This range is defined by a formula as shown. For better understanding, in the records sheet, I will search for a string in supplier field. In active cell, I will search for a string as shown. As you can see, there is only one matching name, obtained by the formulas in supplier sheet. So the formula in the supplier's named sheet refers to a variable range, in this case only one cell. Searching for another string will return, this time more results. But, after selection and cell validation, we have again one cell in the named range. Searching again, but this time without validating anything in cell, will bring us this situation. Now, the supplier named range contains 5 cells, where the searched string is included. Now, I can select, from data validation dynamic list, the desired name. Next, I will run a macro to insert a new row, and also to update the existing formulas. The cell formats are extended, the data validation copied, and formula range extended. After complaint date is filled, with Ctrl+ combination, for today date, all the red cells turn to green and the formulas are working. Also, the formulas in short summary table are updated. This cell returns by concatenate Text and cell contents, a note with the summary of complaints. Next, I will push the button, Add New Position, in order to insert a new formatted row, with all formulas needed, at the end of the table. After the macro runs, the new row was inserted, the formulas and formats are available, and all the contents below the table was shifted by one row down. Also, the named range holidays was shifted, but its range was kept, as you can see. Now, I will show you the code behind macro. Here, instead of a range of cells, I make reference to a dynamic named range holidays, in order the formula to work proper. The formulas in the cells beneath the table are updated due to a new row insertion, and the reference range is growing. Same for all other cells containing formulas beneath last row. Also, the formula, allowing us to select the desired supplier, was inserted correctly. I hope that the example I presented can inspire you in order to develop your own customized file. Till my next presentation, I wish you all the bests.